Title: A Train Journey from Lahore to Karachi, A Story of Discovery. The morning air in Lahore was crisp with the scent of tea and diesel as I stood at the grand Lahore railway station. The centuries-old red-bricked building echoed with announcements, the whistle of porters, and the buzz of passengers wrapped in shawls, clutching luggage, children, and dreams. My destination, Karachi. The Jinnah Express was waiting on Platform 6, a silver serpent ready to glide across the length of Pakistan. I boarded with a mix of excitement and nostalgia. There's something deeply poetic about train journeys. They're not just about reaching places. They are about what happens in between. I found my seat near the window, settling in with my backpack and a flask of chai my mother had packed. Across from me sat an elderly couple, he with a white mustache and she knitting something colorful. Next to them, a young student buried his nose in a book titled Dreams of Steel, and just behind, a group of kids giggled as their mother handed out parathas. The train shuddered, groaned, and began its slow roll forward. Lahore drifted past the window, buildings giving way to fields, the noise melting into the hum of the engine. The journey had begun. As we left the city limits, the view outside transformed into a sea of mustard fields glowing under the sun. Farmers waved from the distance, their outlines tiny against the canvas of the Punjab plains. Inside the cabin, the rhythm of the train became a lullaby. The old man shared stories from his army days, recalling battles and bravery from decades past. The student listened, occasionally looking up from his book, as if learning history from a human textbook. Vendors moved through the train, balancing trays of samosas, chai, and boiled eggs with practiced skill. One of them, a boy no older than 12, had a voice that could rival any Qawwali singer. He sang a short verse as he handed over tea, and for a brief moment, the whole compartment was silent, captured by his voice. As we passed through Sahiwal and then Multan, the sun dipped lower. The golden hour wrapped the world in warm light. I leaned against the window, watching shadows lengthen over the land. Buffaloes bathed in canals, smoke rose from mud stoves, and life slowed down just a bit, as if the countryside, too, was taking a deep breath. Dinner was a mix of flavors. Some brought homemade dal and roti, others bought spicy biryani from the station stop. We shared our food like old friends. The student turned out to be from Karachi, studying computer science in Islamabad. The old couple was visiting their daughter in Hyderabad. For those few hours, our stories became one. Night fell, and the train changed character. The chatter died down. Lights were dimmed, passengers curled up with shawls and pillows. Outside, the world was a blur of dark fields, tiny villages glowing in the distance, and stars scattered above like diamonds. I couldn't sleep. There was something magical about the silence, the steady clack-clack of wheels on rails, the occasional honk, and the faint snoring from a fellow passenger. Around midnight, we stopped at Rory Junction. I stepped out to stretch. The air was cooler, and the station had a strange, quiet energy. Vendors whispered offers of kewa and cigarettes. A dog barked somewhere far. I looked up. The sky was clearer here. The stars seemed closer, more real. Back inside, I finally dozed off. When I woke up, the first light of dawn was creeping over the horizon. We were somewhere in Sindh now. The fields had changed. Fewer trees, more dust, the earth drier. But the colors of the sunrise, pink, orange, and soft purple, made it all glow. Children waved at the train from the side of the track. I smiled and waved back, reminded of when I was a kid, doing the same near my village. Memories have a way of sneaking up on you during travel. As we neared Hyderabad, the rhythm of the train changed, faster, more urgent. People began to gather their belongings, tidy up, and prepare themselves. The air grew warmer. I freshened up, packed my things, and sat quietly, letting the last hour sink in. And then, Karachi. The city came into view slowly, like a rising tide. Buildings, roads, traffic, a different energy. The train entered Karachi Kant station with a long whistle and a final screech of brakes.